Welcome back. Yes, theatre arts anywhere in the world took its roots from culture, traditions, and definitely environment and different people, depending on where they are at what point they were in at that time. It may not also be wrong to say that theatre art is as old as man. In Nigeria, we have pioneers in theatre arts like the likes of the late Chief Hubert Ogunde, Duro Ladipo, and Moses Olaya, and a whole lot of them. So much to talk about theatre art. But before, we have a guest in the studio that is going to do a lot of justice to this topic this morning. But before we go on, we're going to show you his picture frame. Very intimidating profile there. I guess this morning is no other person but a renowned theatre act practitioner in the person of Yemi Shodimu. Welcome, sir, to the studio this morning. Good morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. If you want to call this the YYK segment, it will be very right.
Okay, now YYK.
Beautiful.
We are started.
Thank you so much.
It will just be so good to mention that just last night he got an award from the Globe. He got the Global Achievers Award all the way from Australia. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That's another one.
You just
another star.
You just didn't have that is a multi-award winner. I mean, this is just one of the many.
That's what I'm saying. That's another star. He's just.
Thank you so much.
He's just there, yeah, and everywhere. Thank you for being our guest this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Honestly, I must say that talking about theatre art in Nigeria, no other person, at least he was there when the pioneers were there.
Over 4 decades
exactly.
in the industry. I mean, it's not.
Honestly, so he's the best person to talk this topic about. Yes. So we're going to start theatre arts. Yes, let's just start from what really, when we talk about theatre art, what really is theatre art? Is it only the stage plays, the cinema, or is all encompassing, talking about trying to accommodate our home videos, the YouTube videos, the skits? What really is theatre art?
Are you going to permit me just to quickly mention this before I answer your question directly? Okay. It's a bit nostalgic for me sitting here this morning because it was here in this same studio years and years and years ago that I took my, call it the first clip, theatre-wise. We had the Village Master series being produced there. It was a bigger one. I think you've reduced the, I don't know, you've done it to the compartments here, but it was still in this same studio that I was able to share the same sets or sets with big names, the Jabadus of this world, Funshadu, Eleyimi, Yefshadolu, Dejumolius, Sisi Clara, etc., and Tiamebo and all that. So it's quite nostalgic for me. And now sitting here discussing theatre, it's very exciting. Not to forget the fact that I spent quite a number of my years, professional years, working with NTA. But that's it. Now let's come back to theatre.
It's a good one. It's worthy of mention.
You're welcome home.
I am home. Frankly, I am home.
Welcome home.
And I tell you, when I said that no other person is fit to talk about this other than him.
I'll tell you that theatre, call it the forerunner of all what we're having now. The idea of people, the masquerade festivals, gatherings at the village square, the Alarinjo era, and a lot of little skits that we had years and years ago formed the basis of this. Our pioneers in the industry, of course, saw the need to harness this. It was part and parcel of our culture. It is part and parcel of our culture. Talk about our dances, talk about even our fashion, talk about even our foods, talk about our means of interaction, talk about, just name it. You find it within the theatre setting. These are all the things brought together to build what we have as theatre. It is, of course, described as a representation of life. It's a reflection of life. It apes life. And all what you do, like what we're just doing here now, could be part of a theatrical presentation, depending on the theme, depending on the scope, depending on the thinking of the writers, the directors, and all that. So theatre itself is life. So the offshoot, where you now have presentations on TV, the big cinema, the celluloid now, the home video, etc., even theatre and radio. These are offshoots, but the big baba itself, the forerunner itself, is theatre. Yes, it's theatre.
All right, at this point, let's just pause here at this point to see a bit of out of the many works that Yemi Shodimu has done. This particular one, Oluwo Agbaye, let's say it.
Yeah.
Nítorí owó dùn ní èmi ti máa pè yín kí ẹ̀yin ó gba àpèsè yìí kí owó dùn ní ó jọba lórí oṣó kí owó dùn ní máa jọba lórí àwọn àjẹ́ owó dùn ní ò ń gbà lọ́wọ́ mi. Ntí èmi bá wí kó má ti wí o ó máa pè ìwọ owó dùn ní èmi owó dùn ní ó ti jọba lórí oṣó mo ti jọba lórí oṣó ó ti jọba lórí àwọn àjẹ́ jọba lórí àwọn àjẹ́ ó ti jẹgba ọlọ mo ti jẹgba ọlọ ó jẹgba odó mo jẹgba odó ó ti jọba lónìí mo jọba lónìí ó yá kó máa jẹun kó máa jẹun kó máa jẹun. A kì í gbérí odó ká máa pète odó èyí ìyá mi o a kì í gbérí ọlọ ká pète ọlọ a kì í gbórí àkìtàn ká pète ìlú òṣèwò òrìṣà ohun tí ẹ̀wí ayé bá ti wí ni ẹ̀bọ̀rún máa gbà tí èyí iwájú bá ti gèrè ìrìsàlẹ̀ ó máa gbà á eléyìí tí èmi ti sọ lónìí kó dàṣẹ owó dùn ní ti máa di ọba lórí oṣó ó ti máa di ọba lórí àwọn àjẹ́ ètò wàásù yìí ètò.
Very beautiful one there. You know, I need to ask this question. You know, growing up, there was this school of thought with kids that when we talk about theater art, we only talk about, you know, like the Nigerian National Theater, you know, it was built in 1977 when we were to have the first act, you know. So where we used to think that when anything, if you want to talk about theater art. You just have to go to the National Theater and that's it. So would you say, these are also forms of theater art?
They are, really they are. The building, yes, you call it the theater, fine. But the content itself is theater.
The stage play.
The content itself, the stage play, the performances, that's theater itself. It's theater itself. Of course, it started on, let's say, on stage,
Okay.
where you have physical interaction between the audience and the performers.
Okay.
You don't have the walls
Oh.
in between that you could interact. That's the way it started. And of course, when you now graduate into some other forms in terms of media, then that's another thing. But it's still all part of the same family. So it's not theater is not restricted to
stage plays.
No. It could happen. It could happen here. You have the guerrilla theater that could be spontaneous, right? We did a lot of that when you're trying to convey particular message, particularly corrective messages to the society. It could be spontaneous. It could happen on the street. It could happen right there outside this studio. So theater, and it encompasses a lot of things.
Indeed.
The dances, the drums,
everything
the songs,
together,
the dialogue,
passing the message, telling stories.
yeah, the costumes.
So what would you say? Okay.
Yes, I want to take you back a little to when it all started. As far as we know,
You took it out from my.
as far as we know in Nigeria. I mean, she just said it that the likes of Hubert Ogunde and the other talents that follow after, pioneer this industry as we know it today. Fast forward to today, we aren't seeing much of theater as we used to see it then. Would it be appropriate to say what went wrong? What is it that we aren't doing right? Yes, and what should we be doing differently?
Or what is it that we're doing that we stopped doing?
Let me say this for starters. Theater is back on stage.
Okay.
Theater is back on stage. It could be better. It could be bigger. We could have more of such. But theater is back on stage. The setback had to do with the situation of the society, particularly in terms of security, at a point in time. People shied away from going out of their homes to watch theatrical performances and all that.
Cinemas and all that.
It affected a lot of things, not just theater, but theater got a big hit out of this. So you find there is no point in putting up productions that will not be seen by people. So while the people stayed away due to security, the performers also withdrew and started probably looking for some other forms and all that. And then that was when the opening for the home theater, that was when it came in. But I'll tell you, over the past couple of years, we've had beautiful productions. We've had beautiful productions, and I feel very proud to have been involved in quite a number of them. Let me take. There are theater companies are doing a lot of beautiful things out there. You have Bolanle St. Peter's there, obviously not far from here. That's the Terra culture. There are productions going on there. They had Fela there. They've had a lot of other productions there. And there's the Duke of Fremolo Productions that I am directly involved in as an executive producer. We've had productions like Isaleko, we've had Obai Shubayi, we've had Emotan, we've had Awo, we've had Aremu. So and this December, there's going to be what you call Ibom.
So all of this, I want to ask you, what are the feelers that you get from people?
People are turning up. People are excited about the fact that theater is back. It's a completely different experience, I must tell you, from what you see on TV, from what even you see even in the movies. It's a completely different experience because you can almost touch the performance. Just as I said earlier, there are no walls in between you and the performance, and so you feel it real live. You feel it. Let me I'm trying to see the closest thing, the feeling when you as a presenter, you are live, just as you're doing now. You can't afford errors.
Exactly.
You can't afford errors. It's got to be right there.
Exactly.
And it's different from when you have recorded productions,
call,
and then the editor, can do all the. You can take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But what you're doing is
spontaneous.
It is spontaneous, and I respect it because I feel it, because I know it. It's a lot of job you guys are doing as we speak. That's what you have on the theater. There are no rooms for errors. It's got to be right. And even when there are little slips, you need to look for ways of covering that up, because whoever left his or our own homes to see you perform is not expecting anything wishy-washy.
That's right.
And remember, this is as a result of weeks and weeks, sometimes months of rehearsals. Rehearsals. Theater could sap your energy. It could sap your energy. The rewarding part of it is when you see the delight on the faces of the audience at performances. That helps you a lot. That makes you feel good that it's worth it. And I'll tell you, over the years we've been experiencing that.
Now, talking about experience and the connection between live theater compared to the movie, industry and all of that, I want to ask: a thespian and an actor, are they one and the same? Are they one and the same?
You call actors thespians.
Okay.
Because it's derived from the word thespies.
That's right.
You call actors thespians. And yes, they are one, they are the same. It's a way of letting you know that there is a root somewhere. That that this was taken out of somewhere and all that. So they really basically they are the same.
Okay, let me
just wait. I asked that question for a particular purpose.
Yeah.
Now, many of theater practitioners like you, they take so much pride in describing themselves as thespian more than actor. And I tell you, because I've heard them a couple of times talk about this. But some will even brag that, look, if you're an actor and you've not plied your trade on the stage, right, you are not yet a professional actor. Why do they make such assertion? And do you share that?
Let me say this. I feel them. I know what they are talking about.
Yeah.
This is most likely to come from those who have gone through proper training, formal training in theater. I did.
Okay.
Quite a number of us did, and that's what has been ingrained in our minds and all that. And that is it is true. As an actor, as a thespian, if you've not done it on stage live, without the help of post-production, without the editor helping out, then you are yet. I want to join my voice. You are yet to. Please, I'm begging. Don't brag. Don't brag if you haven't done it.
Okay. I have something that I'm going to ask you, but before I do that, we want to take another clip from one of your works, and that this particular one is no other. We won't be living if we do not play this one. It will not be fair if we live here and we do not play Oleku.
Oh my God! Not again! Oh my God!
Lọ́lá, orí dọ̀tun ni, ó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ jáde nísìnyí. Wàhálà wo lẹ wá ń fúnra yín sí? Ẹ jẹ́ kó máa bá tiẹ̀ lọ, àbí? O ò kí, o ò pàdé ẹ̀. Lọ́lá, ọmọdé ń ṣe ẹ́, o ò mọ nǹkan kan, o ò mọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ọkùnrin, kò burú. Ṣé wàá wá nǹkan jẹ? tí èmi sí.
Má sunkún mọ́, má sunkún. Ó ti tó. Má sunkún mọ́. Mo mọ ohun tá a tún lè ṣe.
Kí ni?
Ọ̀rẹ́ bàbá wo ló súnmọ́ wọn jù tá a lè bẹ̀ sí wọn?
Ọ̀rẹ́ wọn. Àfolóyè Àjàṣà nìkan ni mo mọ̀ tó lè bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ báyìí. Torí òun náà lọmọ ní yunifásítì.
Ó dáa, a lọ rí wọn. A sọ gbogbo bọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀ ṣe jẹ́ fún wọn. Àwọn náà máa bá a yanjú ẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ bàbá.
Wow. Honestly, it just is looking like new. Honestly, I've watched this over and over and over and over again, and it still seems new. It's even affecting him. Say something. Say something before.
Well, it's always nostalgia is a word that comes to mind. Oleku was done how many decades ago? How many years ago? But the fact that people still meet me, and one of the first things that comes to mind is Oleku and the character Ajani. Well, we bless God that I think we delivered on it.
All right, quickly, because we just have to let you go, and time is not a friend of ours.
Yeah.
You are definitely a veteran in the industry. What about succession plan? Is there, succession is something that is inevitable, and definitely it takes its course. Is there a deliberate effort, for by the likes of you to, create people that will succeed you? We've seen people, we talked about Baba Salah, that's Moses Olai, and the likes of them. You were there then. How many people, by the grace of God, you will grow so old, and a time will come you won't be able to stay on the stage again? What's going to happen?
Let me just quickly say that I saw the Baba Salahs and Moses Olai and all that.
That's what I'm saying, you were there.
I saw them. Now, I feel good that I know that I have mentees. I feel good that quite a number of them are actually doing well. I feel good that one is striving as much as possible to set good examples for those coming up. And I'm happy that a lot of younger ones are coming up, and they're doing fantastically well. They're doing well. I would just advise quickly that please, let's do it right. Let's do it right. It's important that whatever you're doing, particularly in this industry, do it right, so that you can help the growth, and so that we can affect the society positively. Theater, it's about entertainment, yes. It's about education. It's about information, right? And it's about impacting morals, impacting the positivities of life onto people. So it's important for us to do it right. People look up to us.
Thank you very much for being our guest this morning. We have been discussing this morning with no other person than Yemi Shodimu. He is a renowned theater art practitioner. And once again, we say congratulations on your newly gotten Global Achievers Award from Australia. Thank you for being our guest this morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Yinka, for having me. Thank you, Kazim.
Pleasure having you with us.
So nice to be with my colleagues here. Thank you.
Next on the show, we'll be talking about those people with special needs. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.